Welcome to a Delco Nerd Network Hot Take. Guys, if you haven't seen a hot take before, well, it's where a few friends get in a basement, give our thoughts, give our opinions on a TV show, a movie, or a game. Today, it's going to be a movie, and that movie is Hustle. Here to discuss, as always, the triple threat. Chris Trio.
Do the hustle. Okay.
There we go.
Yeah.
And for the first time ever, Delaware County's own Nick McGinley. Welcome, Nick. Thanks for coming on, dude.
Trio, thank you guys for having me here.
Dude, love to have you.
A long time coming. First
Absolutely.
time.
Yeah.
Long time listener. First
I
time
love
guest.
to hear it. That's awesome.
Maybe
we
recurring
appreciate
guest
it.
in the future. We'll see what
Absolutely.
happens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll see how today goes. Let's relax. No,
All right.
And honestly,
I don't want to get ahead of myself. Yep.
this is a very different movie. Of course, I'm Anthony Ragucci. How you guys doing? This is a very different movie we're reviewing here. And I sort of made an initiative, and it happened after I watched. Did you watch Mayor of Easttown?
I've seen some of it.
So I
Just
watched
clips.
that, and I was like, I can't believe we missed this for the podcast because of how Delco-centric it is. And so after that, after watching that show, I'm like, I think we need to make a more conscious effort of just kind of like doing movies and shows that are either filmed in the area or about the area.
related in some fashion.
Because it's on brand, right?
Sure.
So that's the idea of why we're doing Hustle. And of course, me and Trio, you know, if you've been watching this podcast, you can probably guess we don't watch a lot of
I think
basketball
this is
or
our
sports in
literal
general.
first sports movie we've ever talked about.
Wow.
On here.
Okay.
Yeah, you're here for it first.
And McGinley,
Inaugural.
Yeah.
Inaugural.
he knows a thing or two about basketball.
I've shot some hoop.
Like
I like it.
like watching this movie, I could not tell you. Like, obviously, I knew people were NBA players or like certain, like there's certain coaches. Like obviously,
Absolutely.
Jay Wright is
Yeah.
in this movie for
Right.
a brief 0.5 seconds.
He got some good lines.
Yeah, and I'm just like, okay, yeah. I'm like, oh, that's Jay Wright, and he's wearing a Villanova,
Right.
Like fucking windbreaker.
Sure.
But yeah, everything else was watching the ending. I'm like, oh shit, like all these guys are NBA players. Like
Right.
I wouldn't have assumed
Right.
any of that. So Nick, what'd you think of Hustle, man?
Yes. Overall, initial, I guess, gut reaction of the movie was I enjoyed the movie. It
Yeah.
was good. I mean, I'm a sucker for Adam Sandler movies. I'm not gonna, nitpick a lot.
Sure.
I would say as an NBA fan, it definitely was cool because every time I'd see someone that I knew, like who played in the league, I'd be like, oh, okay, I know
oh, it's that
guy. I know
person.
guy.
Yeah.
Might even be like someone who maybe like not everybody knows, but like the little nods I feel
Sure,
like
sure.
were the good.
Sure.
Yeah.
That's cool. Yeah, because that's definitely something you'd probably recognize a lot more over. Like, I thought this
Right.
movie was really good, but again, it did definitely feel like kind of boilerplate kind of sports movie to me.
Yeah,
in a lot of ways.
And I liked it. It's
Right.
not,
Which is
it's-
fine.
It's
No,
not
yeah.
a fucking amazing.
It was a fun
and,
watch.
and it's not bad. And it is enjoyable
Exactly.
watching.
Very inspirational.
Right.
I felt like I want to go run some laps after.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
I enjoyed the story. I thought the ending was very anticlimactic.
100%.
I
And I
agree.
was just like,
I agree.
wait, so he's on the Celtics and we're just done? like,
Yeah.
no, like, oh, we'll watch a little bit of the game and like kind of like, you know, make the ending kind of worth it. Like, we really don't get any of that.
No, and I
Right.
do think it was a tad bit cliche at some points for sure. But again, I think when you get into a movie like this, it's kind of what you're dealing with. But even when he was like dropping him off at the airport, I'm like, all right, where's the call? When's
Right,
he
right,
gonna-
right,
you know what I mean?
right.
Like it's
Yeah.
the one
Something
last
is about
thing.
to happen.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
I really liked Adam Sandler. I gotta say. I mean, we know he can do dramatic chops well.
I still
but
haven't seen Uncut Gems.
Same. Uncut Gems.
Uncut Gems.
Uncut Gems?
Uncut Gems is good. It's a little bit more of a like. It's more of a thriller because like the whole time he's just a gambler.
Yeah.
Right. So like every
Right.
time you're like, is he gonna gamble his whole life away?
Yeah, is he gonna
Did
fuck
his
himself?
production company do that too?
Yeah.
I think so.
everything-
Happy Madison, right? Yeah.
Everything
yeah.
he's in, his production company?
It is
Yeah.
funny
Okay.
seeing Happy Madison in front of a movie that's not like Billy Madison or something. You know what I
Dude,
mean?
seeing that intro, I was like, oh my God.
It's
been a while.
Year is it?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, he's had to deal with Netflix for like ages now.
A lot of
I feel
movies.
like, yeah, he's done a ton on there.
I mean, shout out to Herbie Halloween. That
Herbie-
movie was
Hubie
really
Halloween?
Hubie Halloween.
Was
yeah.
it funny?
It was actually
It was
really
good.
good.
Christ
Dude,
Like
I
I
think-
said, I mean, I'm a good like throw on a
That's
fun
what I was
movie.
gonna
What am I
say.
expecting from Adam Sandler?
Yeah, like you can't be walking in there
You
expecting
know, an
something.
Oscar-winning performance now.
maybe.
No, sure.
I think because of
He knows
Uncut,
what we want.
Uncut Gems, he'll do more movies like this. And like
Sure.
obviously, like Hustle was born from that. This is not a true story at all.
No.
Not at all,
That's what
no.
I was. It definitely seems like kind of like your kind of stereotypical like guys from like a bad neighborhood. And
Yeah, I was
he's
talking
a-
to my dad about it.
it's a
He's like,
prodigy.
"Oh, how was it?" And he's like, "Oh, good." He's like, "Is it based off like a true story?" I'm like, "No, I don't think so." 'Cause
You
they-
could, I mean, you could argue. Sorry, like maybe
it's okay.
parts of it would
Are
be
inspired.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right. Like stuff like that happens to guys who've been in the league for a while.
Sure,
like Adam
sure.
Sandler's character, and then you find random guys out who are in tougher situations where they're pulling them into the NBA. But as an exact story, no, definitely.
so
not. Right?
is this
Yeah,
like
yeah.
realistic at all?
Yeah, I think so.
Pretty.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Interesting.
Overall, is like a story. That's
Of
stuff
course,
that
there's
actually
definitely-
happens
yes.
in the story.
Right,
Like, he's
like,
hustling guys.
Are scouts really going like into European countries like looking for
Yeah.
new
Like
players?
that's
For sure.
definitely how that job worked. Yeah,
absolutely.
I thought that was a really cool opening. I got to say, of him kind of
with
going to all the
the
different
guy
countries.
that's plays every tall guy in every movie. I'm like, oh,
Is he an actual basketball player?
Boban. That was one of my first things I wrote down. Boban was great. He's in like the
Wait,
State Farms
he's
commercials.
a basketball player?
Is
He's
he-
on the map. He's on the
That's what I
Sixers
thought. Yeah,
2 years
yeah.
ago. Yeah,
I did
but
love that. How old are you? 22. And he's
What?
like, how old's your
Wait,
son?
wait, wait,
10.
wait. I thought he was just an actor.
Oh no, he's not.
He was
What
in
else are you
John
thinking
Wick,
he's in?
right?
Yeah, he was in John
Oh,
Wick.
that's right,
He's in
yeah.
a lot of like he's that
He-
tall guy you see in movies.
But you've seen him
Absolutely.
in State Farm commercials, right? Or
Yes.
Oh,
maybe-
that's right. I totally forgot
He's
about
just
that.
super
Shit.
tall, very likable guy.
That's
Not
so
a
funny.
great player, but he's a personality.
But he's a
People
good-
know.
yeah, he's a funny
guy.
dude.
He's
So
like
he
the-
was great. Good opening scene.
I was gonna say he's like the Yao Ming, you know. Yao Ming's cool.
Right.
People like Yao.
Not as good, but yeah.
How fucking
Same
tall
dude.
is he though? Is he like
Like
6'?
7'3".
That's what.
Nothing
Jesus.
super crazy.
No,
but
I mean that's
pretty tall.
I feel like that's as tall as you can get before you start really getting those weird proportions and stuff like
Yeah.
that. Even he kind of sort of does, but like
gigantism a
yeah,
little
yeah,
bit,
yeah,
yeah.
Oh man,
was
I
good.
couldn't imagine like being that fucking. Even like at like 6'3", I feel like I get annoyed sometimes.
Yeah.
But
You hit
insane.
your head on the roof here.
Yeah, a lot. That's the basements are tough, but I would
6'3"
rather
is
not
a
have the
sweet spot.
opposite. So
I
I'll
wouldn't
take
be
that.
mad about
yeah,
6'3".
yeah.
Yeah.
No, I thought the opening was really cool. I thought Sandler was great. I actually really liked Queen Latifah even as like his
Looks
wife.
good.
She looked great.
She
yeah,
looks
I thought
good.
she was great. I thought their whole
Queen,
kind of
yes,
dynamic
Queen.
was fun. Yeah, yeah,
Right.
yeah, and with his daughter and stuff. He had some good scenes with the guy. Like I thought that was really well delivered when he was like, I haven't seen my daughter in 9 months. Like I haven't been at her birthday.
the
9
guy
months.
who plays the
jerk
owner's
coach, yeah.
son. I was like, this guy's a fucking twat.
Fantastic.
No,
Love
he
it.
plays
I
it
love
well.
Every
Absolutely.
second of it, like evil bad guy. Like right off the bat, you knew who the bad guy was, right?
No,
Easily.
100%.
He's bald.
He was bald, had the beard. Justin Timberlake with a beard. That's what
No,
I was
absolutely. And it was
going
funny
with.
because I was
Yeah.
sitting there thinking, I was like, oh, he's going to get this guy. That's going to be this movie. He's going to get him to turn around on him. By the
Right.
end, he's going to be like,
Right.
oh, I didn't understand
I
why my
doubted
dad
you.
liked you. But I get it. It kind of
We
does,
didn't even get
but
that,
like we
though.
don't really
We
even
didn't get it though.
Yeah,
and that's
we
what
did. It does.
one of the gripes with the ending, I would say, is that kind of like you said, it just ended.
It really
Yeah.
did. It
And I
kind
was
of like, I don't
oh,
know.
we're done.
It just went 5
And I
months
was
later,
so
and you're
confused.
just
I'm
like,
like,
can I?
I'm like,
see-
wait, he's on the Celtics.
Well, that
now?
was the thing. I felt like we had like
That
three.
hurt. That hurt.
I
Yeah.
felt like we had 3 different moments of like, oh, he's gonna make it. Like the first one was like, oh, he's doing good, but then he fucked up.
Yep.
Okay, then he had the second game where he was kicking ass. Then he fucked up again, and then he had this third game where it was like, oh no, this is the one. Now you're on the Celtics. So I was like, okay, I guess that makes sense.
Right.
But
The
no.
fluidity could have been a little.
absolutely no.
I mean, I
But
thought there
overall-
could have been one less montage, maybe. Like maybe one. I'm a sucker for a great. I love montages.
Running
don't
for
get me
a
wrong.
montage.
In a sports movie especially.
Of course,
like,
no, you
running
need it.
up the hill.
The montage was
of
a good
Mania.
like 5 minutes long.
Yes.
I think it was
was
even longer
long.
than that. No,
Did
I
you-
remember because I went out to get something from my kitchen and I walked back in and it was
like,
still
oh, we're
going.
still
I was
going.
like, oh, we're still in the montage. Okay,
Yeah. It was,
that's interesting.
sometimes, yeah, there was a lull.
A little bit long, yeah. I thought they shot a lot on location. It seemed like there was definitely a lot of Philly areas
so,
for sure.
So I deemed my job to take like the Philadelphia Easter eggs, which they were all kind of pretty obvious. Like obviously it's the fucking Sixers. I don't need to point that out, but like I really
Wait, the Philadelphia 76ers? Holy
I love how we open up on the shot of the
Get that
Wells
bag.
Fargo Center.
Yep.
I was
good.
like, that's really cool. And then they're
Yeah.
in the Wells Fargo Center.
What was the Wells Fargo used? What did it used to
Wachovia
be?
Spectrum.
Wachovia. That was
Right.
it.
On
Yeah,
the spectrum. Also, fun fact, in the end of the movie, when they were in the airport, when he was like, go get him, right? When he leaves, he's going back to
Yeah.
Spain, and they're like,
Yeah.
go find him. That was the Wells Fargo Center, too.
Oh, was it
the
really?
airport
I could tell,
was-
I'm like,
I was like,
That's
that's,
so
not
funny.
I
That's
don't
not the
think it's
airport.
their
No,
airport.
that's so
Right.
funny. I
Can
didn't
you
even
film?
catch that.
They probably filmed a lot of it in the Wells Fargo
No,
Center
for-
for
can
like.
you
Film in airports? Is that a thing?
You
I was
know,
like, there's no way they're like gonna close
It's probably a
something down.
headache, is maybe, but
Listeners
I doubt
out
it.
there, get
Yeah.
them. Someone send it in, right?
No, that would
Yeah.
make sense.
Yeah.
Well, I know in like Japan, the one circle, like that, you know, that like crosswalk you see in every movie. It's like
Yes.
there's so many people there. Apparently, you can't film there. Like, so they have a whole fake one of those set up
we
somewhere.
built a fake one over there.
Literally, but they filmed there for Fast and the Furious, one of them, and they had a fake director on scene to take the fall for Justin Lin or something. Like when they can't, because they were like they have to arrest
Not
someone.
allowed- yeah.
But anyways,
Yeah, so obviously, like they reference Temple, St. Joe's, Stanley Sugarman, and Leon. I forget his last name. They played for St. Joe's.
Temple,
Um,
I think.
No, oh,
I think they were Temple.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah. They talk about St. Joe's.
Right.
They played for Temple.
Right.
Obviously, Pat's and Geno's are in there.
Yeah,
They're the
loved it.
only two cheesesteak places in there. The Italian Market is in there.
Yeah.
Right down the street from where you live.
Right,
And I
right.
think I remember when you were like, "Oh, they're filming."
Yeah.
There.
Esposito's.
Yeah.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
Also, I will say there was one more cheesesteak place reference, Ishkabibbles, which is
Oh.
I never heard of it until I lived.
I've heard of it.
I've heard of that.
He had
yeah.
like 5 sandwiches in
From
the
Ishkabibbles?
hotel room.
Oh.
Right?
Oh, they were all
That-
from Ishkabibbles?
That's a cheesesteak place.
That's so funny, yeah.
I didn't even look to see what the
Yes.
rappers were. It just seemed like
Yeah.
Yeah.
interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Obviously, we
was
got
cool.
That
one,
was.
one Wawa reference, and it's quick, and it's a coffee cup.
Yeah.
And it's
Oh,
very.
wow, I was in
it's-
it. I didn't even see it.
I didn't
It's
see that either.
like
Okay.
I think he's getting out of the car to enter the Lowe's Hotel, which is used to be called the PSFS building, first skyscraper in the United States. I did a report
Whoa.
on it.
Fun fact.
Yeah,
Fun
it,
facts.
yeah, it used to be a bank.
Okay.
But that's a Lowe's Hotel now, and you can see it in the skyline.
Yeah,
like the PSFS.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
I feel
that's-
like I definitely know what you're talking about.
Yeah, that's that building. But yeah, he's getting out and he has a Wawa coffee.
Interesting.
Obviously, the Federal Donuts
Great shirt.
hoodie. I wrote Jay Wright and Villanova in there, and then
Okay.
obviously Iverson.
with the he sent a video.
Yeah.
I loved all of those.
No,
like,
that was good.
Luca.
Right at the end of the movie, when it's the close up on Queen Latifah, and there's a Chicky and Pete's cup right behind her head.
Okay.
I thought that was really funny. I'm like, but that makes sense. Like, there's a
Oh,
Chicky
yeah.
and Pete's
Yeah,
in the
absolutely.
fucking Wells Fargo Center. And the last one, and I'm surprised we brought this up earlier. I don't know if you knew it. The NBA Combine. That's in LaSalle's gym,
Okay.
the Tom Gola Arena.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
My
Did we
alma mater.
Huh.
For
Do we
those
know
unaware.
where they were hosting the practices? Like,
So
where
it
he was
said,
like doing those drills.
So
those
if you
crazy
saw,
drills.
it looks like it says
Cougars or something.
Passyunk.
Okay.
But I looked up. There's no like Passyunk High School.
Could have been in LA
And the
or something.
P is covered. And I
Yeah,
think
it
that's
might have been.
I think that's
I think that
intentional.
might make sense, actually.
I
It
think
might
they're
have-
separate.
They're like maybe making a reference, but it's not something real. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so we're and I don't know if you knew this. Probably not too obvious. I have no idea what the NBA Combine was until this movie.
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't know if I've actually ever.
I was like,
heard of
I
it.
don't know
So
what
It's
this
just a
is. So-
draft type thing. Or
I would
is it like,
say the setup is similar. It was dramatized to
Somewhat,
hell.
yeah,
Like,
okay.
and it's not. There's not like
Yeah,
an open.
it seemed
it's not an
very,
open
like-
practice where
Yeah.
there's gonna be people there watching, like friends and family.
sure,
stuff like
it
that,
would be very
whatever.
much contained. Yeah.
And it was more of like a spectacle, whereas it's kind of more like individual at the actual combine. Like they're
That makes-
measuring all of them, taking their
That makes
wingspan,
sense.
their jumps
Sure,
and
sure.
stuff
Yeah,
like
yeah, yeah.
I don't know how much
Like actual games are done-
5v5
yeah.
they play, but I mean some 5v5.
Sure.
but it was probably
Interesting.
like half.
Half. So yeah,
half real.
It,
Yeah,
it
about
works
as real
enough.
as them
It
do.
wor- yeah,
but
yeah, yeah,
do they
yeah.
and
Sorry.
they talk about it on like ESPN like that as
The
well?
combine, it's not as big in the NBA. I mean, people don't like NFL combine might be a little bit.
Yeah,
bigger
because
than
I'm like,
that, but-
I was like, do they really have all these inside scoops on all these fucking people there? Like, I
Yeah.
wouldn't say no. I would say, like, if anything, like, these contracts are, like, pretty confidential. Like, if they're signing deals and
Right.
shit, like, that shit's under the table until, like, the ink's dry and then they release a press statement.
Absolutely.
I think the NBA has more, like NBA teams have more private workouts where they like go out and find their guys like they did in the movie.
Mm-hmm.
Like if the Sixers would have just like took his word for it and had them in for a private workout, like no one else would have known about them. They could
Yeah.
have just picked them.
And then that
no
would've
one
been it,
even
yeah.
would have, you know what I mean?
Interesting.
They could
Okay.
have just got him, but then.
And you do have to be 22 to be drafted.
No, I mean, I think that could be the maximum.
Okay.
You have to play 1 year in college right now. They're changing the rule to maybe go back
really?
to like you can play.
Really?
You can go right from high school to the G League, which is like the level right below. It's the
So,
Gatorade League.
so Bo
Yeah.
Cruz,
Yes.
I remember they talked about...
Great
they-
name, by the way.
Yeah, I
It's-
like that name a lot
it-
too.
yeah,
Yeah,
boa
I thought the
constrictor.
cruise missile thing was fun.
cruise missile,
Yeah, that was
yeah,
good.
yeah,
Right,
yeah,
right.
yeah. They specifically, like, they don't hark on it a lot, but they were like, oh, he played in an official league at some point, but obviously, like, when Sugarman finds him, he's just like, street ball.
Hustling.
Well, didn't he get?
Yeah,
I thought he
hustling.
got
I like.
like.
Do you like how when
No,
he
that
says
wasn't
hustle
good.
twice? I'm like,
It's just a
I
hustle.
liked it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, oh.
So he says at the one point like he was offered to go to a league across in the U.S. right, but then he didn't take it because of his daughter or
Yeah.
something like that, right?
Or his father left too. I was
Something
confused
like
about
that, yeah.
I maybe missed
His
that.
dad, I think, walked out and was a basketball player.
Maybe.
Like-
might be
No, I
stretched, I'm
thought
not
I thought
sure.
the whole thing was he played basketball to forget about him. Was the whole thing because that was like
okay.
He was getting
I don't
offers
think he
to
was-
do leagues like American camps, and then he had his daughter,
which he
or-
didn't want to leave.
Right,
So he didn't want to
obviously.
leave. So yeah.
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 I thought the mom and daughter actor was really good.
mom was great.
She was great.
Yeah,
I thought she was
yeah.
awesome.
It
Yeah.
was interesting to kind of see that story because I know with like baseball and shit, like like obviously like there's Japanese players in the league, there's Mexican or South American players in the league, but I never would have imagined that basketball, like they're going to other countries and bringing people over. Like I'm like I couldn't tell you.
Yeah, basketball feels almost like baseball.
One
in its
basketball
uniqueness.
player that I know is like he's not from this country. You know, he was they picked him up and
Yeah, I would not have guessed that
brought
they
him
would have
here.
had like such big leagues to be checking out over in those other countries.
Right.
That's for sure.
Yeah.
Like I would
I
have
think
thought
that
it was
makes
a lot
sense, yeah.
more like American than like a
College.
baseball or something. Yeah,
Right,
like
yeah.
less like baseball, but
Local.
no, interesting. It's very interesting. Again, like seeing that whole type of backstory, I never would have even thought about.
That's honestly started in the past probably 20 years.
Oh, really?
Maybe. Like it's definitely gotten a lot bigger.
That makes sense.
Foreign players, like you'd always have a couple, but now certain teams like the Spurs or the Mavericks, like teams who started going out and finding
yeah.
these guys and really like doing their hard work over
Interesting.
in Europe or wherever else. But
Is basketball in the Olympics? No,
Yeah.
it is
Yeah.
now. Yeah, is that recent? Am I
I
mistaken?
don't
Has
think
that been
so.
for a while?
I'm pretty sure
At least
Michael.
since, like,
I'm
the
pretty
eight-
sure
That's what I
Michael
thought.
Jordan.
Dream
played
Oh
on
yeah,
the
duh.
Olympic
Yeah,
team.
yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting.
yeah.
One thing I really, and going back to sort of like the Philadelphia area references, one thing I didn't like, I was like they could have wrote Sugarman to be a bit more stereotypically Philadelphian.
Also a good name.
Yeah,
Sure, yeah, Sam Sugarman.
I was just like he's very base. And like I like how he like the shots of the Philadelphia fans I think was great.
They're the
Oh, it was
worst.
great.
They're
Oh,
the
that's
best.
it's
They're
like
the best.
they're the
It's like-
best, but they're the worst, and that's why they're the best. Yeah,
Yeah,
something
yeah,
like
That
that.
got me as a
No, it
Philadelphia
was
And I
great.
was just
fan,
sort of sitting here, and it's
Yeah.
like it's not like I
whatever.
needed like references constantly. Like Mayor of Easttown sort of does a good job at really like just kind of naturally replicating like Delaware County people. I don't think that job was done with like obviously we don't know where he's from. He's from Philadelphia, so whatever. But like I just
Sandler
don't.
is from Philly, right? Or is he
from New
not?
York.
No, he's
Somewhere
from New
in New
York.
York.
Oh, is he really? Oh, interesting.
Yeah, so but I feel like I'm
Long
like
Island,
they could have
something like
like
that.
stereotyped him a little bit more because I feel like that would have just made his character better.
sink in more a bit. Yeah.
And especially
Right.
for people like us who we are that, so it would have
Sure.
just
Yeah.
been like,
Yeah, we're absolute
would-
pieces
I
of
mean-
shit, terrible fan. No.
I honestly didn't even. I don't know if did they touch on where he grew up. Like
Yeah,
I
you might not even
he
know
could
if
have
he's
just
from
been a
Phil-
guy
yeah,
who
not
went to
from Phil-
Temple,
yeah.
True.
married Queen Latifah,
Or maybe, exactly, and he met Queen Latifah,
if
the
they-
woman of his dreams.
Maybe they just
at
needed
Temple.
to point that out to me, and maybe I'm like, okay,
Fair
Yeah.
enough.
but like you know,
Yeah.
I
they
guess
could have done that though.
I guess it's like kind of not stereotypical, but like assuming that like everyone that goes to Temple and St. Joe's are from the
Philly.
area,
Right.
Yeah.
probably not.
They also called St. Joe's St. Joe one time, and that kind of irked me a little bit. No one ever calls St. Joe St.
St. Joe, yeah.
St. Joe,
Yeah.
St. Joe's, St.
Yeah.
Joe's, but
Yeah.
St.
That did
Joe's
sound
people.
weird.
Let
Yeah,
us
they probably
know.
all
What do you
cringed a little
think
bit that day.
in the
Yeah,
comments?
whinging a bit. Ugh.
Yeah.
Jeez.
But what do we think about the running the hills of Manayunk?
So
I
is
like
that where
that.
he was?
Yeah,
Yeah,
man,
man,
that was
that's
in
the thing.
Manayunk.
People from not even.
That's so funny. I
you
didn't
know,
even
no
realize
one's gonna
that.
really know where that is. But
Yeah,
they'll just
that's
assume
funny.
it's.
And
I just thought
somewhere.
it was a Philly street. Yeah.
And
Yeah,
again, I
yeah.
think that goes into I think they needed to inject Philly more into this to
Yeah.
be like, hey, in the beginning, this is Manayunk, and maybe he tells a story about something.
Sure.
That maybe he did this when he was playing or
Yeah.
something like
Well,
that.
and he does say he's like, we used to run this. Doesn't
No,
he say
he
something
said
like
the hill's famous for like people like a good runner can clear it in like 2 minutes.
yeah,
or
he was
something.
trying
I
to
thought he
break
was saying
2
they
minutes or
used
something
to
like
do
that.
that. That's why he knew that. But I
Yeah,
could
but
be
he
wrong,
didn't go like this is this road.
This is
in
my road
Manayunk.
where I met my girlfriend, Queen Latifah, and we, we
Well, that
had
was
a
a bus
great
ride.
time. Yeah, I got up the hill in 2 minutes, and now we met.
I liked Queen Latifah. Like she was fun. I just like Adam Sandler being married to Queen Latifah.
It's
like,
kind
it
of
just
tough
wasn't
to believe.
believable to me.
No,
It
it's
is
true.
very hard
That
to
is a
believe.
couple that is kind of
But
hard to really picture.
she was
but
good.
No, she was
I'm
good.
all for the
I liked the daughter a
interracial
lot.
couple.
Just
will
enough
say.
of the daughter sprinkled into the movie, not too much.
Absolutely.
Wasn't
No,
too
yeah.
focused on
Didn't
it.
overstay her welcome at all.
Yep. Yep.
It is funny. Not to digress too quickly, but with the Spider-Man reveal, like where Vulture is married to the one woman, it is fucked up how your brain immediately goes like, oh well, they're not married for some
Right.
reason.
Well,
'Cause
it's
they're
just
not,
like- it's just like
you just
un-
or not even that they're not. You just doesn't even occur to you for some dumb
Sometimes
reason.
it's just like it's like. I mean, even when you see like interracial couples, like you're together, huh? Interesting. Like you look
oh,
like,
do you kiss?
like it's like sometimes you're like,
No, but-
like these people do not look like they would be in a relationship together.
Sure, I think you mean that in the way of like that's it's tough culturally
It's
to
Queen,
bring two.
like,
It's
just
awesome.
like we made the comment about Queen Latifah and Adam Sandler. No,
more
No,
of
but
a
yeah, but it's not.
stature
Yeah,
kind
I
of,
wasn't.
like,
It's not necessarily
personality.
because it's black and
But-
white. It's just more of like. Yeah, no, I get what you mean, but even still,
I did not believe that they were like. I believe that they were a couple, for the movie, but like
She was good in the movie.
Yeah,
Could've
right?
been.
But like as really realistic, I'm like, no way.
Daughter was good though.
No, she was great.
Yeah,
she
she
was
was good
absolutely
too.
great. And I thought that whole scene with her, like the idea of him going like viral and stuff, I
Mm-hmm.
thought was kind of interesting. And then bringing in the scene where he was like calling through all his like freaking contacts too, and he was like freaking out. And I was like, oh man, that's rough. But
He's
like
yelling,
you can't fight.
he's
Yeah,
screaming.
yeah.
Yeah.
Sandler does it. He gets it. But what else?
His
What else
hand
was-
injury was kind of gross.
Oh, it was actually it was pretty graphic. What happened to him again? What was the story that he said?
He
Had a couple too many drinks. Put his arm out
right
to save
DUI.
Kenny Smith. That guy's from TNT. His Asian
really?
friend. Yeah, so it's like Shaq, Charles Barkley.
Obviously, yeah.
They did the TNT kind of like shout out in the middle. They were showing all the radio
Yeah,
hosts.
yeah. When they come on for a quick 2 seconds, yeah.
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 Anthony Gargano, he's a Philly talk show sports guy.
Is that
Oh,
the?
shit.
Is
he
that,
interviews him when he's like
right when
yeah,
he's when,
Yeah,
he,
he's,
when he
uh,
tells him that Bo Cruz has a
an assault.
assault charge.
How
yeah.
big of an issue would that really be if someone was awesome?
I mean,
It's
if you're
got
trying to get drafted and you're nobody, I think it would be
It would be a hindrance for sure.
Yeah, but if you're
Yeah.
good enough, they're
not fucking.
and also
yeah.
if he was a minor or whatever, like I
Yeah,
don't
and
know.
it was
Yeah, I
not.
mean, like,
and,
how
and
long
it had
ago
not
was
have
it?
happened for a while or
And
anything
how
like
bad
that. Yeah.
was it actually?
Yeah,
so,
so,
they kind
yeah.
of looked the other way in the movie for the most
Sure.
part.
So it seems
He
like it
almost-
wasn't that bad. Yeah.
Anthony Edwards, the guy who was egging, what was his name, Kermit?
Yeah.
Great.
Okay.
First
Yeah,
of
that-
all,
Wait, why?
was-
Yeah, I was like,
so good.
I was like, is his first name Kermit or is his fucking last
when
name?
they set
Kermit?
it up.
No, that was good. I thought that was
I
great.
feel like that's kind of trolling the ridiculousness of names you get,
You get as-
nowadays.
yeah,
sometimes,
as-
like you know what I mean. Like they do it on Key and Peele,
Yeah.
where they're you know what I mean.
Deshaun
like,
Jackson, or
right,
yeah.
Torque, Lewis.
Devoyne Shower Handle.
Right. So Kermit, that's just like a silly
yeah,
name.
it's just silly.
you
Yeah,
hear.
yeah.
Right.
I liked it.
No, that's good.
Yeah. it was
Yeah.
fun.
So everyone who played the 76ers, obviously, I don't think none of them are on the 76ers.
Embiid was not in the movie, which was disappointing.
And he's referenced. They talk
yeah,
about
the big
him.
guy. They say Embiid, Maxey. Yeah, they don't talk about Ben Simmons at all, which was nice. You know, refreshing.
That would have been
Good.
awkward.
Seth Curry was in it, but he got traded mid-season, so that's a little awkward. But
Yeah.
he's also the coach's son, even more awkward.
Huh.
Wait, who's the coach's
son-in-law? Seth Curry, Steph Curry's brother,
Yeah.
is Doc Rivers' son-in-law. Is married to Doc Rivers' daughter. Oh. And then he traded him halfway through this season, which is pretty great.
Oh. Wait, so there's a Seth and a Steph?
Seth, yeah.
I don't.
Seth and
Seth
Steph.
is in the movie.
Seth is was on the Sixers, yes, and was in the movie. Steph Curry is amazing. Just won his 4th championship.
Right, and he's on the Lakers.
Warriors.
Warriors.
Yes.
You know more than I do.
Over my
Yeah,
head.
I mean,
over my head.
It
I had
didn't
no
even go
idea
near
they
my
were-
head.
I had
It's just
no
over-
idea
Yeah.
they were
This
two
is the little
Currys.
things that like I feel like NBA fans are gonna
Steph
see.
and Seth, that is rough.
And I don't even think I knew Seth Curry was on the Sixers.
Yeah. It was a brief stint,
Was it like recently?
like the end of 2 seasons ago, and this year for the most part, like last 2 years basically. 2 years. Yeah.
I mean, it's gone. It's not even around my head. Goose.
Nah, dude.
It's
No,
over
I
there.
didn't.
Embiid was
And I'm
in.
just
Matisse
like,
was
what?
good. Everybody loves Matisse Thybulle. He had a couple lines. He's on like a big mural on Garage.
Yeah.
Maybe. I don't know.
Yeah.
He's kind of a fan favorite. The Sixers players were good though. Tobias Harris had a couple big scenes.
No,
Yeah.
yeah. I actually for athletes acting, I did not realize. I was like, oh, that
okay.
was an NBA athlete. I was
Right,
like, oh, cool. That he was pretty
As
good.
compared
actually,
to, fucking LeBron in
I was gonna say,
Space Jam
I mean,
2.
you saw Space Jam. didn't
No,
you?
I didn't.
Okay, well, I'll
I
tell
didn't see
you.
the newest one.
But I
no.
heard LeBron is not good in Space Jam
The
2.
main guy, Hernan Gomez, was his first name. I forget. Wancho.
Yeah.
Was just as good as LeBron James in Space Jam, if not better. He was not bad. I didn't hate him. He was
Oh,
good.
my
And Anthony
gosh.
Edwards, the rival player who was like always talking shit, and he was like, "Is that your daughter over there?" That guy. He was pretty good, right?
No, he was great.
He was really
awesome.
good.
He's
but
a
I'm like-
young
no,
star.
he was
That's
playing-
like
yeah.
he's playing almost himself dramatized, but he's
Yeah.
kinda
And I'm
like
saying,
a
I'm
little
like, I
shithead
don't,
a little bit.
I don't think like another player would be really roasting it.
He took it a little personal.
family.
Yeah, it
Like-
wouldn't be that extreme.
Yeah.
Right, right.
But
Maybe
you would,
like
they
bu-
definitely are fucking with
maybe
each other
like
on the
ball
court, though.
boss.
Yeah, yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah.
Yeah, but,
But
not
it's not like
your mom's
look
a
at your
fucking whore.
Yeah,
Right,
not
right.
like look at your mom's pretty little fuckface bitch. Like something like,
and
whoa.
during the montage where he calls his mom a whore and he freaks
Loved
out
it.
and he's like, yeah,
Yep.
It's good.
keep doing that.
Yeah.
I did think that the montage scene, even though it was
Which
really
one?
long,
There was like 3.
Not the running one, the main one where he's doing all the drills.
drills.
And he's
No,
working
I
out.
definitely.
tire.
I think Sandler
Yeah,
and
I was
that
like,
guy
these
who
are-
plays Bo is great.
These
Yep.
are really cool
Yeah.
drills. I've never seen like anything like this. Really
Yeah.
intricate, and I'm
Yeah.
like, but like they really like built the narrative around that. Like I felt like he was getting better. Like
No,
it was
absolutely.
good. And
I wonder
obviously,
how they
like, the
shoot
running
that
one.
stuff. Like if they literally just just
Yeah.
play for a while, and we're just gonna get great shots of like when you make a good shot,
Yeah.
and then that will be.
Do you like?
Some of
for
it.
the-
It's not
yeah.
choreographed.
Yeah,
Do
that's
you like
true
how
too.
Sugarman's daughter's like fucking like making a movie out of like this? I'm like,
Yeah.
I don't think that would really happen. But
That
all
was
right.
good.
Well, she's
I don't
no,
know. Yeah,
I
she's
turned
trying to get
she
into
was her
film and stuff.
filmmaker.
Yeah, they set
I
it up.
turned this edit out in about 5 minutes. Here you go. Like,
It was
I'm like,
quick.
Man, this is sweet.
It's yeah.
No, I think they set her up enough with
Yeah.
the whole film thing. And again, not overused too, which is good. But like I was saying, I think Bo and Stanley have really good chemistry in the movie, and I feel like by the end you do believe
Is
they
he?
kind of
He is. I looked him up. He's only been in one other movie.
really.
Yeah,
Bo.
and it's a Spanish movie.
Well, he's in the NBA. He's on.
So he is another.
He is. His,
I actually was gonna ask.
They're
that.
all
That's
in
it.
the
so
like, oh.
early in the movie.
I thought he was the actor.
So when Adam Sandler like brings, Sugarman brings
okay.
22 double deuces, brings
Yeah.
him to a tryout. Well, when he first meets him, he's like, all right, there's some guys here like in Spain. They're talking in Spanish. There's 3 dudes there. They're on the Spanish national team. One of them is his brother.
Oh, when they're on
There's
the
like,
court.
there's
Okay.
like 3 guys. His brother is on the Knicks, or he was. I honestly haven't kept up. And then he apparently is on the Jazz, or he might be in like the G League, or be like a.
So this truly
He's
is
kinda-
like,
he's not like a
This is like an
prominent player.
NBA just deep cut wet dream.
I mean,
It like
And
it really
I mean, he
sounds
did.
like it is.
I think literally the way Sandler described it was like it's a love letter to like the NBA,
Yeah.
and he wrote it with LeBron, I think.
He was
Or
an executive
He was a
producer, I'm pretty
producer or
sure,
something.
LeBron.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
and
yeah.
LeBron is not in it though, or
no,
is he?
No, he's not in it. They reference him.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
talk about him.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was just kind of like, again, the movie's great, and the ending just kind of like, it really,
It
I
really
agree.
does just end.
It really
It's funny.
does.
I didn't
It's-
really
it's,
like
like,
think
annoying.
about it until you said that. It really
and
does.
credits are rolling, and now we have to go through.
I
all
kind
that
of
months
like
later.
the idea of them ending up even still on opposite teams, and like that. I think I kind of like their heart to heart, but it was just the kind of abruptness with which we were there.
Right, and like they
which
show his
was, like-
tattoo, but it's not like he like shows him or they
Well,
talk
that was good,
about it.
right? 'Cause
See,
he's
I like that though. Yeah,
Yeah,
like I think that's good. You don't want to like.
'Cause he
over-
says
These are all for my mother and my daughter.
And
Yeah.
then
And
this
then
arm
these
is
are
for
all
my dad.
dad.
And then
yeah.
he didn't have any, but then
Right,
Yeah, yeah.
right, yeah.
Come on,
and
that was
and that
good.
was
No, it
cool.
was
But
great.
again,
Again.
I wish they just would have
Warm.
like lingered on that moment for a bit, or maybe
Sure.
they had some sort of like conversation about it. And I think
business,
maybe
too.
the ending could have
But
been
then
better.
I also did love when he walked over to the other guy and he's like, "Hey, he does this on his left." Like it was
Yeah.
a good little just like, all right,
Right.
there's still
He's not pulling punches.
No, he's not pulling any punches, but he's proud of him and all that stuff, and it was cool. It was a great, made me feel good.
Tria,
I will
where,
say.
where would you rank this? And we'll need to explain it to Nick. The
Okay.
Luke Kenning review
So
system.
we have the Luke Kenny review system. You got
made famous by of
There are
course,
3
Luke Kenning.
tiers.
Who's Luke Kenny?
Luke Kenny was he was on for our Brendan
he's
Fraser.
a fellow Havertown Ian.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was
H-Town
on our Fraser-thon reviews, so he has this system. So you have
It's
3
genius.
tiers and then 3 tiers within those 3 tiers. So
a 9-point
less
review.
conflict. So you got
9
you-
tiers.
You got exactly. So you got your flick on the bottom, you got a movie in the middle, you got a film on top, and then within those you got low, mid, and high tier.
Okay.
So you could have this could be a high tier flick or a low tier movie
Okay.
or a mid tier film.
Okay.
Does
Makes
that make sense?
Okay.
You're picking up.
I 100%.
All right,
Yeah.
cool. I would definitely say this is mid-tier film for me.
Mid-tier.
I'm sorry.
film.
Wait,
I'm sorry. Mid-tier movie.
Film is the top.
I-
Yeah,
yeah,
no,
I like
I'm sorry.
film.
Okay.
Mid-tier movie.
Interesting.
Okay.
I would say mid-tier movie.
Yes.
do you think?
That's what I was gonna say. I mean, it's definitely not. It's above a flick. The production.
Oh, for sure.
value
No, absolutely.
alone, and,
I
like,
think
it's
it's-
Adam Sandler. Like it's a movie.
Yeah.
And it wasn't. It was good. It was a good movie. I'm not gonna. I could go almost high tier movie just for the.
That's what
the-
I would say.
The novelty.
Yeah, I think I might be leaning somewhat towards that, so I'm going to stick where I'm at.
As an NBA guy who just I don't know.
Yeah.
As a pretty like, even like the basic NBA fan probably just enjoys that a lot.
I mean, dude, even me
You're a
as someone
sucker.
who's not an NBA fan, I
Right,
enjoyed it.
exactly.
I had fun with it. I thought it was I knew what was going on. I felt like they did a good job of explaining basketball terminology too, for the most part. Whenever they needed to kind of like, get
Yeah,
it
I
was
mean-
quick and it was simple,
Yeah.
and you realize what they're talking
Yeah,
about.
I mean, I played basketball. I have a, I know how to.
No,
I
you
know
know,
how
you
to
have
throw the
basic,
rock
you have
loose
around.
basic
knowledge,
understanding.
Yeah, I got some loose knowledge. Yeah, it wasn't. It never like went over my head with anything.
Yeah.
Shooty hoops.
Yeah, I would definitely say a high tier movie for
Yeah.
sure. Yeah, mid tier, like I don't know. It's a little better than mid tier.
Fair enough.
Even though
good.
even though I'm like yeah, the movie was good. It's not like, am I gonna say everyone needs to go watch this? No. Is it like Mayor of Easttown levels of like, dude, this is just a love letter to fucking our area? It's really not, in a way.
No, I don't think
they
it was
could have
that.
picked any other city, any other team, and made the same movie essentially.
Sure.
Maybe not have all the maybe they could have.
You switched out with it. Yeah, I see what
Philly's
you
a
mean.
good city though. Like,
But I do think it's a great setting.
Right,
Yeah,
we have like our
You can do
stereotypical
Chicago,
identity with
New
like
York.
food and
yeah,
shit.
cheesesteaks.
a lot of
Obviously,
stuff. Lot of touchstones you can use.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And the Sixers were all about it. Apparently, just letting them use their branding.
That's awesome.
They probably got a bag, right? I don't know.
Oh, they absolutely were given
Yeah.
some type of
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
compensation.
hey, they had to. I wonder how many extras they got to fill the fucking. Oh, Preston and Steve are in that movie.
Oh,
in
really?
Hustle. They're as extras in
Okay.
the Wells Fargo Center.
that's
when
awesome.
because they fucking. I don't know about the upper tier, but they fill that first tier.
They made it look.
No, I
bad.
mean, dude, like extras for anything, you can get so many so easily.
It's
For
like,
some
let's,
reason,
let's
people just sign
cram
up.
all these
Yeah.
references. Let's get all these Philly people and put them in a fucking stadium.
All right, gentlemen. But is there anything else that we missed on Hustle?
I don't think so.
That's it.
I don't think I had.
For me, at least.
I liked the slight wink to Rocky when he gets to the top of
Yes.
the set.
Yeah, yeah,
I'm
yeah.
surprised
Because
they
I was
didn't lean
waiting
into
for the
it
Rocky
more.
reference.
of some kind. Yeah.
Obviously, they just
got
did
a
the
little
little
bit of a touch.
bit.
Yeah.
I like.
know.
I didn't write that one down. I probably should have, but it was so slight.
That's-
It was.
Yeah.
It was just a little.
No.
That was
Yeah,
good.
yeah.
I love it.
But
Awesome. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for watching with us. You didn't watch this one live, but you can watch us live at twitch.tv/Delco Network. Anytime we're streaming, we're on all your favorite podcast services. Just search up Delco Nerd Network. We're on all your favorite social medias as well. Just search Delco Nerds. We got a Facebook page. We got a Discord channel, which will be linked below this video and or podcast. You can find all this information on our website, delconerdnetwork.com. You can email us, delconerds@gmail.com, with all your comments, questions, or concerns. We'd be happy to get back to you. For Gooch, for Nick, I've been Trio. Thanks for watching, guys. Stay nerdy, and we will see you next time.